Posthumous photo of Marilyn Monroe, August 6, 1962. On the right with hipster mustache, Adolf Hitler himself, photo taken around 1916. Amy Winehouse shows her talents. Hillary Clinton listens as her husband denies his affair with Monica Lewinsky. 1998. In 1911, two traveling brothers, Lewis and Temple Abernathy, were offered $10,000 if they rode from New York to San Francisco, 2,796 miles in 60 days. According to the contract, Louis and Temple had to sleep and eat exclusively outdoors. Unfortunately, the brothers didn't win the reward. They arrived in 62 days. Still, it's worth noting, the older one was 11 and the younger one was 7. Prison in Panama, a net over a ravine, 1920. Allied and Soviet soldiers parody Hitler on the famous Reich Chancellery balcony, Berlin, 1945. Blacksmith Patrick O'Neill without one arm and his special working prosthesis, England, 1929. Korean entrepreneurs buy weapons for defending their property during the riot, Los Angeles, USA, 1992. The perfect plane crash, nobody died, United Kingdom, 1960. View of the epicenter of a nuclear explosion 2 seconds after the blast, Kazakhstan, 1949. Women at work, 1915. In 1996, a 3-year-old boy fell from a 16-foot height into a gorilla enclosure at the Illinois State Zoo. An 8-year-old female gorilla gently picked him up and waited for help. An American sniper lies on the ground disguised as a fallen horse. Third French Republic, 1918. A World War II veteran earns a living. Tokyo, Japan, 1951. An amateur agronomist wins a competition and waits for the awards ceremony, California, 1975. Luftwaffe pilots at the ritual of welcoming new pilots into their ranks, 1942. The meaning of the ritual was to burn away their fear. 5-year-old Warren runs away from his mother to his father, Private Jack Bernard, shouting, "Wait for me, Dad," during the British Columbia Regiment March, October 1st, 1940. A bullet-ridden pickup passes by a skeleton on the road, Somalia, 1992. During World War II, Germans built a fake airfield in occupied Holland to divert attention. All structures and equipment were made from wood and plywood. Construction was carried out in the strictest secrecy until a British bomber flew over the fake airfield and dropped a wooden bomb on it. It's unknown if the Germans appreciated British humor, but they got the hint. The construction was halted. British magician Kuda Bux demonstrates his ability to see with his eyes closed. England, 1937. The arsenal discovered in Bonnie and Clyde's car after their death, 1934. Military dogs during World War I in sentry duty, 1916. The last photo of the passengers of the Uruguayan Air Force plane that crashed in the Andes on October 13, 1972. Of the 45 people, 27 survived. They had to feed on the bodies of the deceased. After 72 days, rescuers found 16 survivors. Freddie Mercury encores riding on Darth Vader's shoulders, Houston, 1980. Harvey Ball, the man who invented the smiley face. The monsters one can encounter in the remote corners of our planet. A giant man-eating crocodile, 29.5 feet long, shot by hunters in Australia, 1957. The collapse of a crane on the Al-Haram Mosque in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. 107 dead, 238 wounded. The crane belonged to the bin Laden family's construction company. The breakdown of the Ku Klux Klan's race car, Kansas, 1920. A man is strapped to the electric chair in Addis Ababa prison, Ethiopia, 1950. A mother asks not to kiss her child to avoid catching the virus, 1939. Adolf Hitler visits the trenches where he served during World War I as part of the Bavarian 16th Reserve Regiment near Fonel. The Hitler Regiment held this line for 18 months. A hippie wedding, 1965. The Great Stingray, caught by Captain Khan, USA, 1933. In the early 20th century, the U.S. Navy decided to fight inappropriate tattoos among sailors and prohibited people with such tattoos from joining. This led many young men who didn't want to serve in the Navy to get tattoos of naked women. Interestingly, if they later changed their minds, they went back to the tattoo shop to add clothes to their girls. Japanese prisoners of war with heads bowed listened to the announcement of Japan's unconditional surrender, September 2nd, 1945. Manchester United footballer Eric Cantona attacks a Crystal Palace fan, 1995. The sinking of the Lusitania, 1915. Dr. Kurt Lissow, the city treasurer of Leipzig, his wife and daughter, who took poison to avoid capture, 1945. Children play with bundles of money during hyperinflation, Germany, 1922. In 1986, a military conflict occurred between Chad and Libya over control of a narrow strip of borderland. Chad's forces were much less equipped, but ultimately won. One of the key factors in the success was the supply of 400 Toyota 4x4 vehicles equipped with machine guns and anti-tank missile systems from France. Known as the Toyota War, it is the only war named after a car brand. Yugoslavia's air defense forces shoot at NATO aircraft, Belgrade, 1999. The aftermath of the Wall Street explosion, USA, September 16, 1920. A bomb exploded at the entrance to the building, killing 40 and injuring about 400 people. Hennessy Cognac Tasters, 1952. When Freddie Mercury died, he had 10 cats, and according to Deacon, he loved them more than anyone. The first remote-controlled quadcopter, 1941. Canaan Banana, the first president of Zimbabwe, 1980. A boat on Lake Titicaca, Funo, 1925. A beluga whale weighing 1,102 pounds, Sea of Azov, 1956. The largest submarine in the world, called Akula, USSR, 1981. British soldiers drag a 2,900-pound howitzer down the road, World War I, 1916. Kashmir giants with traveler Professor Rickleton, India, 1903-1937, at the Temple of Light. The structure consisted of 130 powerful searchlights pointing vertically upwards. The first ATM shown in San Francisco, 1966. The winner of the Miss Nairobi Beauty Contest, Kenya, 1966. Joe Reed's Guinness World Record jump, 1998. The stuntman jumped between buildings on a motorcycle with a 250 cubic inch engine. The distance between the buildings was 65 feet. Reed jumped to a height of 116 feet. The last known living Barbary lion, shot in the Moroccan Atlas Mountains in 1922, now extinct in the wild. Police Sergeant Birchu stops a stolen car, USSR, 1988. The opening of the first Starbucks in 1971. A boy sitting on a sea mine, England, 1945. Ian McKellen and Christopher Lee backstage at The Lord of the Rings, 2001. Lewis and Lola, survivors of the Titanic. Protest against the construction of the Haneda Airport, Japan, 1978. Home dentistry, early 20th century. Soviets hanged by Nazis on a balcony of an administrative building in Kharkiv, 1943. Real Men Shave, 1940. Testing of an atomic bomb visible from Las Vegas, 1950s. Civilians sleep in the subway during another German bombing raid, London, 1940. Typists type blindfolded during a typewriting competition, Paris, 1940. Cambodian soldier, 1972. Girls in a training camp, Lebanon, 1970. A 13-year-old boy from the Hitler Youth, taken prisoner, 1945. A 6-month-old winner of the Most Beautiful Child of America contest in 1927, Marcia Pinklefield. Parisians walk on chairs to avoid wetting their feet during a flood, 1924. Captain George Ashe aims a rifle at a pipe held in the mouth of a blindfolded corporal, 1932. New York's polo championship, I'm sure there were injuries, 1912. Men in shorts and cowboy boots serving women at a gas station in Texas, 1940s. Turkish Bashi bazooks, 1870. A park during the filming of Star Wars, 1999. Quarantine warehouses for people infected with the Spanish flu, 1918. A family from Wisconsin, late 1800s. A Christmas gift giver, traffic controller, Barcelona, 1970. The tradition of giving gifts to traffic controllers during Christmas was widespread throughout Europe, especially loved and followed in Spain. Chernobyl disaster cleanup workers, 1986. Many of them later died from the effects of radiation. A second before the crash, 1962. A giant letter M to welcome Mussolini to a small town in Italy, 1938. Felicette, the only cat that survived a spaceflight, 1963. Felicette, a stray cat found on the streets of Paris, was sent to space aboard a Veronique AGI-47 rocket. The flight lasted 15 minutes, and the capsule with the animal successfully returned to Earth. A unique shot from the filming of Frankenstein, 1931. A grainy image of a stinger, 1910. The eruption of Khrushchevskaya Sopka, taken from space, Russia, 1994. Canaries at work, England, 1917. Women working at British munitions factories loading artillery shells were called canaries due to their yellow skin color caused by exposure to TNT, which caused severe liver damage. About 80% of all British weapons and munitions used in World War I were produced by women. Hattie McDaniel, the first African American to win an Oscar, 1940. Stuntman Todd Green flies toward death, falling from an airplane wing. He was performing a complex stunt, transferring from the wing of an airplane to a helicopter during an air show near Detroit, USA, 2011. The submarine Kursk being lifted from the bottom of the Barents Sea. General Douglas MacArthur accepts Japan's surrender aboard the USS Missouri, Tokyo Bay, September 2nd, 1945. Mae Musk, the mother of Tesla, founder Elon Musk, 1969. The return of Belka and Strelka after their spaceflight aboard Sputnik 5, 1960. Where did the phrase "no risk, no champagne" come from? In the past, wine had a tendency to explode in France. Going down to the cellar for a bottle of champagne was quite a risk. People would go in special protective suits to guard against flying shards. Sommeliers from that time often lacked fingers or an eye. The bow of the Titanic on the bottom of the Atlantic. National Geographic Magazine Archive, 1991. Of course, first of all, thank you for watching and for liking the video. But even if you didn't like it, still, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All the best. Stay tuned for the next part. Bye.